Good morning from here. Good evening. Good afternoon. Welcome. I think everything should be working. Just checking translation. Now, just Gloria needs to unmute. Brilliant. Technology is amazing. Touch wood, it's working for us. So we are not slave of technology, of course. We are using it as masters and grateful while it's here. And it's lovely to have this chance to refine on this subject that even was mentioned in the morning reading, and also to get the feeling from worldly references. Dostoevsky said the best way to keep a prisoner from escaping. Any ideas? How, if you've ever thought about how to stop a prisoner from escaping? It's quite an interesting one for us, because unless we're conscious, we are in the prison. So the best way to keep a prisoner from escaping is to make sure he never knows he's in prison. So if we have all the entertainment we need, we might not realize. Another quote here: none are more hopelessly enslaved than those who falsely believe they are free. And that is another fascinating area. So have we really grasped what it is to be profoundly free? And so this will be a nice way to refine our understanding and share. Welcome to come into camera if you're in a position to. It's lovely to be connected in this medium. So welcome. And handing over to Prashant, who I will now. There you go. I think you can unmute now. So hello. Prashant for me has frozen and not appearing in the camera, but you can come into sound.
Yeah.
Okay, it's working. Very good.
Hello and good morning. Let us create another few moments of silence and some experience. Very first thing we check is we are using the best sight and the best intellect. When the word paras is defined, it is like God-like intellect, God-like kind of mind. We all have the option to use paras. And since we are using paras, we have an option to use 100%. Now, the physical world appears very, very clearly as a performance, theater, a story, a temporary world. And it is a foreign world. It is not our world. The whole thing, what is around us, this is the part of the story world. With paras, we can see the world beyond the story. Alokik, subtle, invisible, but very, very clear. In this world is the true family. They all are like living stars, conscious, immortal. We can see the true self. We can see ourselves, the invisible witness. And this invisible witness is so independent from the story. Many things happen in the story. Even this gathering is gathering in that story. Prashant is within that story. And the invisible witness is the one who is the observer of this story. He is conscious. An invisible witness. He knows he is very lucky. He is from the family of God. It is almost like belonging to a family that is of divine royals. Worthy to be loved by God and belong to God. So why would he not be lucky? Invisible witness, he knows he belongs to this big family. All are divine beings. All are immortal. When we say divine, nothing inauspicious. It is a Ravan-free dimension. This world, everyone is happy forever. There is no reason for anything of disappointment. World of perfection. Everyone is perfect. Invisible witness is just conscious to this. The real world understands its complete independence from this physical world, the story world. As he continues to come back in the story world, he comes as a guest. He comes as an invisible traveler, as if he is flying past this world. He is not hanging around in this foreign world. Inner attitude is he is flying past. He doesn't forget his world. He is lucky forever, whether in the sky or on earth. Thank you. One question for you. Why has he got an attitude? He is flying past. As if he is here for a short time. This attitude, why? It is he has to enjoy this world. Why this rush? Is there any reason for that, or come into this world? He should settle down, and he has not come here to rush. So why this reference is flying past this world?
If he doesn't have that attitude, he would create attachment. because time is short, and he experiences timelessness in the soul world. So, nice contrast. To be near the exit, to remain detached. He's just visiting, is no ownership. Maybe the world's rushing past him because he's still and
Sure. Yes. This human tendency, one weakness of human beings, present human beings, at the end of this cycle, we jump into attachments given the slightest chance. Such is the nature of the souls at the present time. So just imagine you are at a shop and car is just outside waiting for you. You just go and come out. You have one attitude. You have to speak to someone and come out. You don't have time to even see anything there. But if you have, instead of these 5 seconds, you have got 5 minutes, you already think of what else you can buy there. You will start seeing what you can maybe place to sit down. Already you start settle down in that place. Difference within 5 minutes. Change in attitude. So here we are dealing with this extraordinary physical world. This is the world we are dealing with. And this world is a great gift for us. This world is an extraordinary gift. This world is a great performance story. This world is a great holiday for us. We are just passing through. That's why a gift. We are passing through, and so great holiday. It's a great circus. It is an extraordinary roller coaster experience for us. So in every level, it is an amazing gift for us. 3D film show for us, for these immortal visitors. But this world is doing one more job. What is this? Extra, one more job it does. It's a great film, and film, not a small film, 3D film, just such a big screen. This is a story. It is a great theater, great holiday, great play. It's the invisible travelers are players. It's a great, like a computer game. So great gift. But it is doing one more job.
it's like attractions and then maybe deception as a result. It's like a puzzle, one of those Chinese cryptic ones. End. So it's like a trap.
Yes. And that other word is, it is the web. It can trap you. And that's why we show this dotted line. And this is the line of ignorance. If you approach this same word with a little confusion, you can get stuck. And it deceives you, but it traps you. That is when it can become the master and you become slave. We are going to see a few slides in the very soon, and with these slides we will see this subject of master and a slave. This is our journey. The soul is the master, and the soul also becomes the slave. There was a reference to this in the Murli today. You are master of the universe, you become master of the world, and you also become completely trapped by the same universe, you become slave to this world. So how this happens, we will try and see. So when we are ready, we can start with the PowerPoint. Yes. I like this definition of life. And what is the definition? From birth till death, we are interacting with the environment. This is what life is. Right from the womb, you are interacting with that environment, in the womb, with those sounds and those colors in the womb. It is a new environment, and it may be very pleasant for some. For some, it may not be pleasant, but that is what is happening. And then the experience of birth and experience of this world, we are right now interacting with this environment. And we will see a few other slides. By environment, we mean everything around us. Your job is a part of the environment, your people around you, they are part of the environment. Everything around you is the environment. Temperature in your room is the environment. So this is all environment. And we are constantly interacting with this environment, second to second. And what do we want in this environment? We are interacting, but is there anything your deep need with when you are with this environment? Can you think? What is our deep need? This applies to the king, this applies to the subject and animal. What is the deep need when we are with this environment?
Stability, security, enjoyment, pleasure,
Yes.
survival, comfort.
Yeah. So we'll see the next slide. We deeply need harmony. In the context of the environment, we want harmony. I want harmony with people around me, and I want harmony at the job. No conflict. That is not something we really want. Even if someone is starting a war, his aim is to create his micro environment of harmony. When there is harmony, there is peace. When there is a mismatch between you and the environment, anything within the environment, there is a mismatch. It creates stress. So your environment, the personality of your friend is not matching with your personality, or job you are doing is not right to your taste. Something is a mismatch, no harmony. Temperature in the room is a mismatch. Body will show stress chemicals. It is like that. And we do not like this mismatch, so we want to create harmony. This is constant striving of everyone. as was said, animal, they all want to create their own harmony with the environment. Even the chemicals of the body is the environment, and we want harmony with it. Sometimes the chemicals can create another kind of a mismatch. And so this is like our need to create harmony. Someone wants lots of money. Why he wants money? He thinks he can create his micro environment, where he can buy some flowers, this, that, and paint the right kind of colors, buy something to create his little castle, keep the bad guys away, and create his harmony.
Is the microenvironment a comfort zone?
Yes, that's right. So within this, let us see next slide. Yeah. So the worst relationship, what is the worst relationship with the environment? When the environment becomes your master, that is the worst relationship. When it starts to rule you, and if the environment becomes the master, it means you become the slave. What is a good example of this environment becoming the master? Let us, the present day example is the prison. What happens in the prison, in a prison kind of environment. in a environment of prison, a prisoner hasn't got a choice. The prison officer decides. Sometimes we have if we have some program in the prison, and there is some discussion, and the guard comes and tells one of the inmates, it is time for you to go to your cell. And he says, yeah, sure, thank you, and he has to go. He cannot say, I want to stay another 10 minutes. He cannot say. The officer decides what he will eat, what he will do. His freedom is restricted. The prison officer may choose to make him happy, but it is the prison officer who decides, and not the slave. So that is the model of the prison. So we will see so this is the way it happens. The prison officer hasn't got a choice. The other person decides.
Someone commented some jobs when you asked what is the equivalent, and the others said, when you are afraid, it's like a prison, isn't it? When you feel afraid, your experience.
Earlier we were saying the environment is becoming the master, and you become dependent on this environment. In psychology, there are two personalities that are spoken of. One personality is called A, B, these are certain, but type A personality, they are called stress-prone personalities. Type B are different, very different personality. But typical type A person, he will be unhappy in any given situation. You invite him to a place and he will be in a bad mood. Why is in a bad mood? Because the color of the room is not matching with the color of the lampshade, and that is enough to put him in a bad mood. Everything has to be right in the environment, and then he can smile. If one thing is wrong, he can be angry or sad or just grumpy. Type B personalities are more casual. They get on with different cultures, different tastes, different people. They accept and they have a different attitude to. It is also seen type A people have 7 times more heart attacks, at least in one study. Age group 40 to 50, 7 times more heart attacks in type A personality than type B personality. And all health problems are more in type A person than type B. But even in life, type B people tend to be more successful because people cooperate with type B personalities. People don't like to cooperate with type A personalities. So these are personalities who are, you can say, more slave to the environment. Everything is right and they can be happy. The environment is more of a master and they are slaves. What is even more interesting, someone who is type A can become type B. A few years down the line, human beings can change. Not all change, but in some cases they change. What do you think makes them change? Those who do change, what makes them change? You want to make a guess?
Suffering?
Yeah, 100% of the cases, it is crisis. So they change just before their third bypass operation. They need some situation. Then that forces them to question their attitudes. So we have the option. We either learn through pain or through wisdom. What happens with knowledge? We are learning how what is happening, and we changed before it is the message through pain. And that is what our service is. Everyone changes, but are we learning through pain or are we learning through wisdom? That is a question. So here, this is like such a big subject and the universal. That's why very important subject. Universal, because the whole world is deceived by this. We are given this great gift, and everyone has been defeated by this gift. They are trapped. So here is a big question. We are in a free society. There are no prisons here. We are free. There are many countries have a good system of government, and they want to give freedom to everyone, more freedom than maybe in the past generations. But question, is there any master? Are there masters in your lives? Or are you your own master?
I remember before coming to these ideas, working in London, and I felt like such a slave. I can't describe. It's totally in my own head, as if we as if I didn't have choice. And someone wrote jobs, we can feel that bound. So in the ordinary thinking, definitely they appear to be prisons.
Yeah. So any observation? Do you think there are masters, or are you the master of your life and your mind?
And one said, it's within ourselves, but difficult to change. Sometimes masters, sometimes slaves. At least there's we know the contrast.
Yeah, sure. Let us see our one example. We are going to see these two individuals. And so these are not personalities. We had spoken just now about two personalities. These are just two individuals. One is called Mr. A, Mr. B, bit like that. And here we are showing that this person A just creates a small expectation from person B. Just a small expectation, that's all. Let us take the example. Say A is a daughter and B is the mother. And the daughter creates an expectation that the mother is going to invite her to a family gathering. Mother has invited everyone else. Mother has invited her other sisters. Mother has invited her friends. She invites everyone every year. She has invited me every year, so she will invite me. So she creates a small expectation. And then what happens? Now the mother is in charge to fulfill the expectation. The daughter is not in charge anymore. It is up to the mother to fulfill that expectation and make her happy. Instantly, what we are seeing, she has given power to the other person. Other person is now in charge to make her happy, to disappoint her. The other person is already in charge. Daughter has no option to be happy. The moment you have created expectation, you have made already the other person the master. And once you have given power to other, you are losing power. You are with less power. Natural state of everyone is we are all are powerful until you give power to others. It is your choice to give power to others. Or here you give power to objects. It can be anything. And the moment you give power to outside, then you are with less power, you are coming into that slave mentality. What is very fascinating here, such a small thing, greater expectation, but it creates such a chaos, and a person can get into lots of troubles. Mind can be really disturbed. Like this example of the daughter. There are many broken hearts in this world. We're really disturbed by some situation of this kind. Huge problems in the relationships because of this. All starts with One small expectation, and you create a master, and you create a slave mentality in yourselves. Other person did not choose to become the master. And mother has no intention at all to give you sorrow or at whatever. She does her own thing. But you create your own slave mentality. You create your expectation. You create a chaos. You become the slave. You lose power. You're completely independent. Mother may not even know what is going on there. Big question. Anyone, have you got any expectations? Do you create expectations?
Thinking about technology and people is a huge department, but you know how technology is providing more and more and more. We get extremely into expectations. So some yeses are coming.
You know, you might find even now, even though we are discussing this, you might not know the scale of the masters you have created now, right now. But over the next week or next month, you will observe the different life situations. You observe, wow, I was having expectations here. There is a power given to someone else. You know, some like close relations, you are more likely to create expectation. As was said at the beginning, we have such a huge tendency to get into bondage. You know, the word broad attachment, it is a very huge tendency. Someone is very, very good and very obedient and always does things correctly, you create more expectations until the relationship becomes dysfunctional. Some relationships are, they are each other's slaves. One is slave to other, another is slave relationship. These are like the dysfunctional units. And we don't know why it is happening like this. That is worse. You get into such a chaos and don't realize that it is in your hand. The nice thing here is we realize it is in my hand to become free from this. I create the slave mentality and I have the option to come out of it. I am not at the mercy of someone else. It really tells you that you are 100% in charge of your own mind and life and slave to nothing. That option is there. No one else can make anyone else a slave, subservient. You become 100% your master. The main meaning of Raja Yoga, we are, and the term we are using this, Raja Yoga. Raja is with this meaning. You first become the master of yourselves. Come out of the slave mind. Let us take an example. There is a king and he has a servant. So externally he is the king, and there is a servant, poor servant. And the servant has a duty to bring coffee to the king at 10 minutes past 11. King is very, thorough. So the virtue of this king, he drinks coffee at the right time. So the servant has to bring coffee. And king is happy, things are going well. But one day, servant decides no coffee to this king. Today, he wants to change the structure. Servant is in a new mood, and so he drinks coffee himself and goes for a walk in the park. Fresh air, so servant decides to have a different kind of experience. And now king is expecting coffee at 10 minutes past 11, no coffee, and learns that servant has gone for a walk for fresh air, and king is angry. Who is the master? Who made the king angry? And who is the slave in this relationship? It gives you an idea. Externally, it appears he is the slave, he is the servant, but the king can create a mentality of the slave, so that even the slave here, the servant, is in a position to make him unhappy, make him angry, make him sad. It is just to create an expectation. You are subservient, you become dependent. You don't have power anymore. So in our spiritual life, it is not possible for someone to say, I'm going to experience peace. We say Om Shanti, Shanti, then that language goes on. We tell others also Shanti. But Shanti is possible if they are the masters. If they are the slaves, like this king, then you can't choose to be Shanti. The masters decide whether you are going to experience peace or anger or something else. And there may be many masters, so any one master can make you angry, and that is the end of your Shanti. So there is an expression. You can't, nothing can be planned with slaves. If you are planning something, nothing can be expected from a slave. Because they got masters. A slave can promise you something. I will do this and I will do that. He can't. He got masters. Masters tell him what he should be doing. So as long as the slave mentality is there, you can't plan anything, even with yourselves. You can't experience what you choose to experience. Slave is one of the lowest denominations in any society. When I say in any town, there is a lawyer and there is a postman and there is a laundryman and there is a slave. Slave is the lowest denomination. So to create a slave mentality is to choose the lowest quality of life. And just by these innocent expectations, you increase the masters around you. That means it becomes even lower. It will be nice to hear any thoughts from you. Are there any expectations? Do you know anyone with expectations?
Do you feel that just shining light on these expectations is a very powerful first step, because it's a huge topic, as you mentioned?
Absolutely. Just to even to understand that why we are questioning this expectation. The reason is that this world We said right at the beginning, it is a story world, it is a temporary world, it is a foreign world, it is a world not in my control. It's a foreign world. Whole thing there is, it is a bit like you go to North Korea and you are expecting something to be there, and an airport should be something different, and this should be different. And it is a foreign world. You can't expect anything there. You don't even expect to be there. It is like this. So here we are dealing with the world which is not in my control. And to create expectation in that world, it is just like getting trapped unnecessarily. So the spiritual message is be prepared for the unexpected. You go and you are prepared for anything. That is your starting position. First position is this. From that position, you can plan. You can do many things. Planning is different. But bottom line is you are prepared for the unexpected in that foreign world. You got your world. Now you got your own place. There you got full right there. So with this broader position, when we see expectations, then it will become easier. And we immediately apply this principle. Be prepared for the unexpected. How come I create expectation? From anyone. It can be a close relation, can be another Brahmin, can be someone who is perfect all his life. Now, bottom line is be prepared for the unexpected. Anything, anyone, think it has got its own law there. The foreign world. Your remaining free is first priority. To get that world perfect, that foreign world perfect, that is not your mission. First mission for you is to be free, not be the slave. That is your first mission.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
And the feeling of Sita in the Ram and Sita story, it feels like she doesn't know how much power she has actually. Just like example of the servant and the king. He might have the, maybe in that role, but actually everyone, each Sita has a lot of power, and really it's in each one's hands, and we don't need to answer to Ravan's prompts ever again. But that takes being fearless. One comment question here. Are we trying to manage our natural human condition since expectations are inbuilt from childhood?
Inbuilt, because we create a society, it is up to us what kind of society we create. Maybe at present time, some may be creating more expectations, some are less. Some societies, there are some endemic, that kind of mentality. But here we are in the game of creating masters and society of masters, starting from ourselves. So we learn how these masters are created, and we can learn how to become free from these slave mentalities. Even one, as Sarah was asking, even if you observe in one case, oh, here I am creating expectation here. That's why I'm getting little bit this unpleasant feeling, So I just need to drop this expectation. Opposite of expectation is acceptance. You are 100% accepting. That is the way this script is. Just clap the way it is going. Great drama. Internally, we don't know this and step back. Always be aware of your world. Your world is of perfection, fullness. So you are just reset. You are resetting yourself. And you will very quickly find various slaveries, slave mentalities that were there in you. You become free from. Even if you become free from one, that is an achievement. One master less, higher quality of life. One slave less in this world and one slave less in your system. That is great news. Each time you are doing this, you are becoming your own master. Okay, one question. How long does it take to create a master?
Someone said a thought takes time to create a thought, a second, instantly.
Let us take an example. Let us say you are going to your office, and just outside your office, maybe this comes a bit later, not it. And still the that image is still good.
Yeah, just to get it back. Yeah.
So you are going to your office, and just outside your office, there is a beggar, and this beggar is saying, "I'm hungry, I'm dying, please, then have some mercy on me, give me something, So you say, poor fellow, is hungry. So you take your lunchbox, you give your lunchbox to him, and you are genuinely meaning that you are happy to remain hungry for a day, and that he will, at least he has not eaten for a while, he gets something to eat. So you give your lunchbox to this person. That man opens the lunchbox and says, "I don't like this. Why are you giving me vegetarian stuff, vegan stuff? I want to eat something else." So he throws your lunchbox in the bin and gives you some words for not giving him the right kind of his lunch. So are you still happy, and feeling lots of mercy and love? Are you still in that state, or has it changed? If it had changed, who changed it? Uh, you had mercy and you had kindness and love for him. You wanted to benefit him. Is it still going, or is it different? And if it is different, who changed it? If you are angry with him, or if you are upset by the whole experience, because your food is wasted also, you know, this example gives you an idea what does it show? This person is a stranger to you. You don't even know him. He is a beggar, so he is not your boss. He is a beggar, and suddenly he has a position, he has a power to make you unhappy. Suddenly he has a power to make you angry. He can do this now. So how did that happen? Who gave him the power? Very interesting, no? Who gave him the power? Sometimes people argue, and they say, you have no right to. No, people have all kinds of rights, but you don't give the powers. Powers keep the powers with you. People argue, you have no right to say this to me. No, who says you have no right? He has got every right to say what he likes. This beggar, he can say what he likes. He is within the law. Throw the lunchbox in the bin. He is not breaking the law. But you don't give power to anybody else. That is your choice to give power to others. And the moment you have given power to others, he is able to take you anywhere. Can be, sad, it can be bad, mad. He is in a position. He has become the master. Yeah, it was a second. In this case, in this example, the expectation may be very, very small, that someone should just eat this. I spent 1 hour preparing this, not to waste. You might feel this at home. You prepare something and children or some others, they just throw it. You feel someone has spent time preparing this, and are you wasting something that is someone has spent money on this, and don't waste. And even that is wrong. Once you have given, you have to step back. That now he can waste something that is precious also. He can waste your time. That is totally okay, because now it is his job. Don't create expectation from this foreign world. You have to completely accept the way the world is. It can be in service, you are doing service, you are planning, you don't want waste to happen. But there are situations someone is wasting, or things do go waste. You have to accept. First priority for you is not to bring in the slave to solve the situation. Let the master solve it. You want to solve it, you don't want to get things go waste, but let master, not the slave. Yeah, anything you want to add?
Yeah, there's quite a few questions, and yeah, many thoughts, I'm sure. Just the last one that popped in, how would the master react in the best way?
In this situation of the
I guess so.
beggar.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he will say, okay, what do you like? What is it that you like to eat tomorrow? I'll try my best to get that.
Like a
If-
dignity, isn't it? Whatever the response. And a respect even to them, and that's actually worth more than the lunch, isn't it?
Yes.
It's quite incredible. Someone's asking, if you are for a while dependent on someone else for help, how to not make, I'm not sure actually if I understand this question. It says how not to make a master feel like a slave and not to feel like a slave. Yeah, if you need help, how to not feel like a slave, I think, in essence.
Yeah. When you understand you are the soul to start with, and soul, he needs nothing from this foreign world. He is not dependent on anything. This is a story world, and he doesn't need. First thing is that, and he comes in this, and as a trustee, he's taking care of the body. He's taking care of things as a trustee, and quite happy to interact. And maybe here we are using the computer, and we are using it. But bottom line, there is no dependency, not a bottom line. The whole the transmission can stop and things can change. That is foreign world. We are still managing. We have managed for last half an hour, so that is great. But bottom line, that things have limitations in the foreign world, and there is no reason to be the slave, to be dependent on anything. So this applies to the soul who is visiting this world, aware that it is a foreign world, not taking things for granted, very appreciative that things are happening, things are taken care, someone is cooperating, very appreciative, but not taking it for granted.
It's part of the expect the unexpected.
Yeah.
And the realignment, why we're here in the first place.
Absolutely. Now this example that we gave, another person who is hungry and you are giving your lunchbox to him, that example, that is very relevant for us, because here is a gathering, you do good things, you are using your time, mind, wealth, you are serving others and may have tendency to be kind and do favors on others at different levels. And that is great. But with that comes another side street. And what is the side street? You feel you have a right to create an expectation. As an example, you do 100 favors on someone, and because you have done 100 favors on someone, you feel other person should do at least one favor to you when you need. It is not neutral. Some stranger, you don't expect him to do anything to you. But in this case, you feel he has to do some favors on you. At least he should not cheat you. He should not put you in trouble. You have that kind of expectation. With others, you don't have those expectations. So this is the big area, and so what happens is you internally you feel and you get trapped. You find yourself with expectation, and then sometimes deep expectation, and the only reason that expectation is there is because you feel you have a right to create expectation there. And moment you create expectation, you get into the slave mind, slave mentality. You become the slave. So what is the big big achievement. You have done all the favors and at the end become the slave. So that is not a great wisdom. So if you want to do favors, you do favors. If you want to do things of perfection, do it for perfection. But as we were emphasizing, not to become slave is a priority. You become slave for any reason, then you spoil it. Just one area we need to know in this. In English, the word expectation has got sometimes slight another meaning, and maybe in other languages also. And want to differentiate between creating an expectation and making plans. Expectation is one thing, and making plans is another thing. As an example, you are in charge of the company, you are the manager of a company, and you got plans. You are making plans what the company should achieve, what you are going to do, what the staff should do. You got plans, and then that plans have to be made. You got a destination, what you want to achieve that day. That is a separate thing, and that is very positive. As in the Brahmin world, you got a plan and you got a destination, you got aim. That is one department. Expectation is another department. So one who is sensible, one who is a yogi, he makes plans, he has an aim, he has a destination, all this is there. But then having done that, he is prepared for the unexpected. He is prepared. On the day when it is all going to was planned, things can go completely differently, and he is free to accept it. He doesn't feel I planned this, I said this, and why it is happening like this. No, that is the way it is happening. He is fully prepared to accept the way it is happening, and no disappointment. No, he has got plan B ready. One who is sensible, he knows how to approach in it when things go differently. One who creates expectation, he will be disappointed, upset, angry, blaming. That will be the reaction of that. That's what type A personality is. Whereas type B personality, he accepts the situation and then deals with it, from the new parameters.
The one thing about this, yeah, shall I?
Yeah, please.
In this particular situation, if the person says, I don't want your vegetarian stuff and throws it in the compost, and then you ask the question, okay, with that kind of royal acceptance and respect to all, and then he requests, lasagna, which is a non-vegetarian option, you wouldn't need to. You would be remaining in accordance with your master's values, right? It was
Yeah,
more a comment.
of course. It doesn't mean you have to do it every day. No, is you know.
You have your principles still.
Yeah.
Someone's asking, they're quite keen on this aspect about mastery in the physical reality. Or are you saying the mastery in the physical reality is only acceptance? Is that what it is? And
Not being dependent, and this physical reality. All we are talking about is this in this physical reality. And the physical reality is a foreign world. That's what we said. It is a world not in my control. So, and I have to remain free, just free. And then you are automatically the master, free from expectations, free from possessive attitude, mine. That is another way you become slave. You remain the vulnerable guest in this world, and then you automatically remain master. You are interacting, doing everything, but you are not crossed the line of ignorance. Remember, very first we drew that dotted line. You have not crossed that line.
The different programming, isn't it? Because we are almost taught to be having a sense of entitlement, and it almost seems like self-respect or something, but it's backfires, and it's
Absolutely. I want to show one next slide. And in this, what we are seeing that we do create expectations and create expectations from humans, but we also create expectations from matter. We create masters everywhere, not just humans. Can be even from your dog. If you create expectations, then dog becomes your master. Ordinarily, you are the master of the dog, but relationships can change. Can you give an example where matter has become a master? We give the example. If I am right now expecting this computer to work, and disappointed, if that changes, then there is a slavery there. I need to observe. If it is 100% acceptance, then you are not a slave. And it can be your car, it can be the weather. We can create expectations from systems. Like some countries, systems are working perfectly. Transport system, and there is some government systems and local government system, very efficient. But then people create more expectations. They feel everything, the bus should not be 1 minute late, this kind of thing. And more expected, and they can be very easily disappointed with some small little variation.
Yeah, also if you're in a hot country, someone's written, you rely on the AC.
Yes. Yeah.
And the body, someone's written, is that part of matter?
Absolutely. And the whole thing, uh, this is a foreign world. Body, we said body, but Prashant himself is part of this foreign world. And in this position, the invisible soul, he is observing all this. Invisible soul is dealing with this. And understanding he doesn't need to be slave at all in this straight away in this foreign world. He can remain the vulnerable guest. And a vulnerable guest is the master of his own mind. If he is the master, he is very useful to the world. He is useful to himself, useful to others. As was said, from the slave, you cannot expect anything. Slave, he cannot even experience peace when he wants. So how can he bring peace for anybody else? So first step for us, be the master. Remove the slave. Observe the slave mindset, slave tendencies, and natural state of everyone is immensely beautiful. I know it is time for the rooms, I think, and we'll take the questions after.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, just acknowledging the questions. Thank you for that and the comments. So great. We'll have a chance you can share. And would you like to suggest a sort of question or something to get this?
Are there any masters? That is the one. Do you know anyone who creates expectations?
Yep. Any other? That's the easy, quick answer, but yeah. And then how do we resolve, come out? What's the method?
Yeah.
What is your experience or what is the method to be a master? Yes, so just to expand on the topic, enjoy. We'll meet back in just over 10 minutes. Thank you. Welcome back. Apologies for any cut short conversations. Maybe there was an expectation to finish the sentence. But we will continue and let's create a moment of some experience of the simplicity of that freedom. Thank you. Would you like to share in the chat any aspect you would like to underline? Because sometimes it helps to have it reiterated. And for me, remaining free is the first priority. Was really, really great. And attention and practice, yes. And even just seeing it raises awareness. And what Prashant said, maybe over the next few weeks we notice more, and that's the first step, isn't it? And maybe that we don't need to be slaves. This is sort of a default setting somehow. To come out in a profound acceptance was underlined at one point, which was very nice. Radical, I think the word radical acceptance. So do continue to share. Welcome back to Prashant. Thank
Yeah. Hello. It's so nice to have this quick summary. And we all need to keep these areas for ourselves. The important, some words that will give you the practical message, how to go through this life. And what we are offered is extraordinary gift. Even our mind is a gift. Our truth is beautiful, and this world of play is also wonderful. Only thing we have to avoid is slave coming in, then everything changes. You are dealing the same world, same situation differently. That's why to remove the slave, this is the only effort, really. That is what Raja Yoga is. And then you are instantly seeing the greatness of the self and the greatness of your world and even the foreign world. You are appreciating it, in a new way. And the golden age is, he's not running away from that. He's appreciating. But as was said, honorable guest, just as you are approaching the world in the right way. And then when you are a guest at someone's house, you are a guest. You enjoy being there, but you don't forget that you are a guest. Same. There is nothing extraordinary in this. If there is anything that we need to get this right, is a broader intellect. This whole thing is a bigger game. This foreign world is a big foreign world. Our world is without limits. Our journey, we ourselves are immortal. So we need this different intellect to grasp, handle this. If we approach this world with the ant-like intellect, then you are lost. You can't see it as a foreign world. You get stuck with some sticky sugar somewhere. We need to approach this world like an eagle. Very happy to hear any comments or questions.
Yeah, the comment earlier, it was more just a comment about relationships. They were saying they know an individual who thinks expectations would make a relationship happy, or even to the extent it's like the basis of a good relationship. So it's a comment, but what's going on there?
Yeah, sure. It is just the slave is becoming happier. Slave is getting the coins. Slave is expecting master to behave well, and master is behaving well. Master is giving what the slave wants, and then the slave becomes bigger slave. The expectations become deeper. And one day something doesn't go right, then the same person will be completely disturbed. As long as the masters are behaving well, the slaves are happy. The quote that we all heard at the beginning, the 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 biggest thing that can happen, or the worst thing that can happen, is the slave is kept happy, and then he doesn't make effort to come out of the prison. He's kept happy there.
We begin, it's almost like in the cycle when we cross the line, we start off as successful slaves. In a way, we get what we want. We all the time the beggar, the victim, the slave is growing, but for a while we're sort of managing it because we're successful.
Yes.
Question: how can a master deal with the laziness of the body?
He accepts that the body is lazy. That is I might not use the word lazy is a body level, body may have some limitations, that is, he can accept this. He may have enthusiasm and he may be very, very active, but body has some limitations. That is the way it is, and he accepts it. Everyone's, the life situation, including the body, there are limitations. That is the way it is. It is not mine. It is not I. That is the way we are the trustees of it. So there is no feeling of being disheartened about it.
Yeah, interesting. A bit earlier, the comment, the world teaches us to possess, the soul teaches us to let go, and that's where true mastery begins with ourselves. It's very nice. On this topic, could acceptance be a form of slavery even?
If the world outside is in a position to give you sorrow, then it is slavery, whatever you are doing. But the end result of that is the outside world can be an individual person, possession, place. If there is something outside, there is a subservience, then we call it slavery. So if you are having acceptance, that doesn't lead to subservience.
It's like in the context of winning over our own intelligent deception. And so the question arises when to face, when to accept.
You accept 100%. The way the world is, you accept 100%. And then you are planning. Within the context, you are planning things. Planning for the future. But what is coming to you, it is 100% accept. Bit like you come in the out, and look at the sky. There are clouds on one side, clouds on the other side. You don't complain. You just say, you accept. That is the way. You might take a photograph of it, but it is possible. Someone may say, why clouds on this side? Why clouds on the other side? He can do that also and become slave to the sky, become slave to the cloud also.
Someone's asking, what about someone's bad behavior? Do we not draw any line?
It is his problem, bad behavior. Someone has bad.
Feels like we need to really grasp this physical world and the secondary nature, as you said earlier, remain free, first priority. And then from there, you act, but it's not from the slavery.
Only when you have a expectation that no one should have a bad behavior, then it becomes your problem. When you are having awareness that in this drama there will be variety, some are jokers, some are heroes, some are villains. That is the way the drama is. There is acceptance. It doesn't prevent you from taking certain steps and protecting yourselves from that bad behavior. That is separate department.
And from the Spanish group, aside from accepting, not reacting, We shouldn't react. I think that.
Yeah, instead of react, you act. You accept, but you act. In every situation, we are acting. You got your plans and you are acting. But your action comes from, is motivated by your values, your virtues, rather than outside. So they are not a master. They are not telling you what you should act or what you should do. You are choosing it from your own, from inside you. That's why you are the master.
Clear. I think this is just a comment, but we are free. We have free choice. There are always alternative ways, perhaps, to act. How can we tell in our daily life the difference between true acceptance and mere resignation? Is there an inner sign that shows when we're genuinely embracing what is instead of enduring it?
Yeah. Yeah, very fact that it is a resignation means there is some kind of a sorrow, even the 1% sorrow, if it is there, that means there is a slavery. There is some kind of a, your slave is accepting it. We need to have this as a long-term program, even when things are going good, have this understanding, repeatedly bringing this attitude. If everything is going good, things can change. Create a thought experiment. Things can change, things can end, and it is okay. This is a foreign world, and you are prepared for it. That's why, in that sense, acceptance. If a suddenly situation comes, you never thought of it, then there will be some element of slave dealing with it. And then the feeling will come of resignation or something.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's not the slave accepting it. And it can come in an unexpected way. Like you say, it could be a sort of seniority where you think there should be logic, justice. But the bottom line is no one can deprive you of anything. It's all happening in a secondary world. So it forces you to, or it's an invitation to stay in the mastery, which is nothing to do with the film. Yeah, no other questions right now.
I want to suggest a few things. What we discussed, you will have a recording of it. Definitely worth going through it again or going through your notes. And this time to see in your own life. We got this overview of the subject. And since it is a central thing for Raj Yogis, Raja Yoga, you are becoming master of yourselves, master of the mind, Raja, king. And there can't be slave and a king at the same time. And at least to know that this has to be addressed, that we have created a society where life of expectations and that whole dependency that appears totally normal, and unquestioned. We are questioning it. Expectation is the beginning, but we go into this foreign world with even more bondages. And to observe those bondages, for example, I might start thinking this is mine, claim things in the foreign world. You know, ego is created in the foreign world. These are all other bondages we create. And to be the master, of the self, we have to become all bondages in this foreign world. And repeatedly to have this mirror to ourselves. Mirror is that nothing in the foreign world should affect me ever. And if it is affecting me, it will affect. We don't say first day we are perfect, but this is giving us a mirror in which we can see which is the area where I'm creating masters outside. And every time you remove even one master, you are a winner. You observe what is happening, you are a winner. Go for this 100% clean mirror that the world outside can do what they like. We said they have the right. They can say what they like. They can do what they like. Matter can behave the way it is behaving. That's all fine. We have the option to become free and to remain free. With that, the broad aim to experiment, we also saw right at the beginning that objective language, invisible traveler. He is the invisible witness. And he is becoming conscious. Invisible witness is becoming conscious. And he understands this, not just the body is part of the foreign world, the role. It is like a Prashant, the role is in the foreign world. It is a bit like Cinderella, he is part of that foreign world. And you are 100% free from that whole story. Story can finish. The role can finish. Many things are to happen. But the invisible witness is very lucky. He has been lucky, forever he's lucky, because his world is a separate world. To play with this again and again, light-hearted, but to come to that 100% clean experience, unmixed with the story. Yeah, excellent. We'll meet tomorrow.
Thank you. Yeah, very nice, helpful, and it'll be a nice hobby practice till we meet again. We'll finish with a drill from Madhavan. Thank you.